give you a night deep in moonshine. If I had words to make a day for you, I'd sing you a morning golden and new. I'd make this day last for all time. Give you a night deep in moonshine. Welcome to Mirador Television. Break an egg. Well, good morning. Just a very quick outside broadcast this morning because it's such a gorgeous morning. I'm sitting on the platform at New Haven Station waiting for the 6:03 to take me into Lewis, from where I'll go to the studio and get us ready for Browser Radio at 7:30 and Mirador Television Break an Egg at 8 o'clock. And just to tell you that it's a gorgeous morning, absolutely gorgeous morning. And that little introduction, which shows the sun and a gorgeous piece of music, well, it's all true. This morning, get up and really get out there and enjoy it, because it's going to be a great day, a great day. We've had our rough times in this past little while. I had, along with everybody else, rough times. And I keep on getting stirred up by the pig-headedness of our governance, both from Westminster all the way down to parish councils. They need turning on their heads. It's all bloody nonsense. It's our dependence upon computers is just absolutely astonishing. And if we're not careful, I was talking to an expert the other day. He said if we're not careful, we'll actually go so far that we won't be able to come back. So words of doom and gloom on this gorgeous morning as we get cracking. And I look around me. There aren't too many people this morning. Actually, there's only one other person on the platform. But then again, there's 6 minutes to go before the train arrives. I expect a few more will get here, and we'll roll through up the lovely Ouse Valley. And believe me, it's beautiful. If you have never sort of walked or taken a ride of some sort down the Ouse Valley, do so. It is gorgeous, and there are some lovely little villages, South Ease, Piddinghoe, Iford, even the tiny little hamlet of Swanborough, where the airport is. That is all worth taking in, believe me. And it's just a delight getting on that train and watching from the window just for 10 minutes. It's a great start to the day. I don't expect you to get onto the train just for 10 minutes to go and take a look at the Ouse Valley, but I would urge you to take it. It's pastoral land. It's very ancient land. I mean, the Ouse itself is ancient. Some of that land is the way that the Saxons would have left it. Some of it's not arable. It can only support sheep and cows and other livestock. So it is much as it has been for centuries and centuries and centuries. And I always get a very strong feeling about things like that. Just the way that I do about Lewis, where for 1,000 years, blood and guts has been spilled. But the funny thing is that in Lewis, much of what's been spilled has to do with pushing democracy. The Battle of Lewis. Battle of Lewis? Yes, the Battle of Lewis was where the first spark of democracy started, and that's where Westminster, the Parliament in Westminster started. Not perhaps as we would know it, but the barons got their toe in so that they actually could have a say on how their taxes were spent, because Henry III was being a little bit dash happy with them. Oh, does it sound familiar? And some would say, oh dear, did you start all that nonsense in Westminster? But it was the first blow for democracy, a real blow, because the barons defeated Henry III at the Battle of Lewes, and were able to demand certain things which had been set down in the Magna Carta some 50 years before, but which hadn't been implemented. Yes, Lewis goes through to where the martyrs were burned for religious freedom, and Queen Mary, Bloody Mary the First, the daughter of Henry VIII, and through to Tom Paine, who was threatened with treason, and if he'd have been found guilty of treason, he would have been hung, drawn, and quartered. And believe me, that's a very painful way to die. And of course, on top of the martyrs is a bonfire night, which is celebrated in Lewis in huge quantities, if I can put it that way. And Guy Fawkes, himself a colourful character, and he worked in this part of the country before he went off to try and blow up the Houses of Parliament. And he was a very clever man, because he realised that being hung, drawn, and quartered was very painful, which was what was going to happen to him, because he was charged with treason. So he managed to hobble his way to the edge of the platform. It got the noose on it, and he threw himself off and broke his neck. It was a quicker way to die. So there we are. How colourful can you get? So I'll be with you at 7:30 on Rouser Radio. Join me if you can. On Mirador Television at 8 o'clock. Join me if you can. And those will go through the day so that you can hear all the nonsense we spout, that by golly is nonsense that'll get your blood boiling. And that's what democracy should be about, arguing. All right, talk to you later. Till then, toodle pip.